Welcome back everyone to another episode of Let's Play Advanced Tactics Gold. And I've done a little bit of thinking. I think I know what I want to do for this next turn. So let's just jump right in. First, most obvious threat is I have this infantry who decided to push, I think a little bit suicidally, all the way through my lines. So what I'm going to do is surround him. I definitely don't want to attack with my engineers. In fact, these guys are going to be, well, one of these guys is going to be helping me build some supply roads here. So, I mean, I need to move this headquarters forward so I don't have stuff like HQ proximity of only 40% down here. It'd be nice to move them forward, which, I mean, moving them up and to the left is not going to help. But eventually, if I get these guys over to Trier, they'll be where I want them to be. And I want the road to be built southwest to Trier from this point. Okay, but anyways, that guy's just here to isolate this unit. I'm going to do a bit of surrounding. So I'm going to move this guy here, so he'll attack from there. I'm going to move this guy back. I'm going to move this guy back as well. So we have good surround from three sides. And I'm going to also bombard him with artillery just to make sure, extra sure that he's dead. And the only question I have is maybe, would this only take 20? It takes 25. Darn. So horses move 25 on everything that's not road. Dang it. That would mean I only get 7 rounds. I was hoping for 8 rounds. Is it worth it? Where should I be spending my point? Well, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to be dead. So I think even 7 rounds will be enough to secure his total destruction. Because even right now we have 3-to-1 odds, which is... Although we'll probably take some pretty severe casualties with only 3-to-1 odds. Yeah, especially because the machine guns are so good on the defense. I think these combat values, 120, 144, etc., I think they're weighted a little bit in favor of the machine gun's defensive ability. And definitely not against infantry guns, but infantry guns are also offensive heavy, yeah. Well, it's a tough decision. I think it will be sufficient to kill them from either square. So what I'm going to do while I'm thinking is bomb these guys. I know that I want to just keep lowering these guys. I think I'll also dive bomb these guys, because they do have the units. I didn't really do much, did I? Well, I lowered the redness and entrenchment, but they're in the low mountains. It's going to be hard to work them out of there. I'm definitely going to need... Oh yeah, I want this guy to attack... Oh, he can't even move back. What did I want to do? I'm an idiot. I think I wanted to move this artillery forward first, so that was foolish. But that's okay. What we'll do instead is we'll dive bomb these guys to kind of save my butt from having made a mistake here. Hopefully this will lower their readiness even more, that they won't have the strength to move forward. That's my hope. So we are lowering... Look at the readiness drop. 1 point. Woohoo! Their entrenchment went up. Well, that just is because I'm killing armored units, so that armored units don't entrench, so if you kill them, the total entrenchment, like the weighted entrenchment of the unit, goes up. It just means that the riflemen and submachine guns who are entrenched at some value count for more of the total entrenchment after the armor is destroyed. Okay, now this unit is at very low readiness, and this one's also at very low readiness, so I'm predicting they won't have enough action points to move and capture my artillery. I'm not entirely sure. Does this guy have enough? If he attacks, he only has 60 left, so if he attacks, he won't be able to do anything. Huh. Kind of messed up here. And I don't want to move these guys back either, so this is really tricky. I really done goofed. That guy should be here. Okay, but that's fine. I'm just going to use my artillery to blow the heck out of these guys from here. We'll let him move forward on the next turn. 3-to-1. Yeah. This is just more important. It's... If I don't get these guys, I'll have 2 artillery at risk. So let's just do this and really get those extra few hits in. That's good. That only lowered them to 46, which isn't as high as I expected. So let's attack with all, which gets all 3 of those. Perfect. And good. We only lost 3 machine guns, 3 rifles. I'm okay with that. Now, none of them survived because there's no place for them to go. That's the point of me surrounding them. And now I can move in people if I want, which I don't need to at all. In fact, the only thing I want to do is, I knew it. None of these guys have any action points left because I had to move all of them in order to get them into position to attack. Well, I guess this just means that I'm going to have to hope they don't have enough. Let's see. If their infantry break off, let's pretend they had 90 action points. How much does infantry cost to move into low mountain? 40. Now, we have to make that 50, though, because they're going through my zone of control, so it'll cost them an additional 10. So it'll cost them 50 to get here. Then to move into a normal plains, it's 30, but it'll cost 50 because it's an attack. And that includes the 10 action point penalty for moving into enemy territory, and the 10 for moving in my zone of control. So they don't have enough to do it. They would need all 100 action points, and they are definitely not going to have 100 action points. So from my quick little math there, it looks like I am safe. I didn't show you this, but actually this unit was cut off from supply previously. With this guy here and his zone of control here, the supply had to go out like this, and then down like this, and then it went, it went like here, and then back to here, and then along the road. And that made this square yellow, which means that this unit actually, logistics-wise, didn't receive all of the supplies it wanted. But now it's back. If these guys just move here, just simply do that, they'll be blocking my supply. But they haven't decided to do that yet. And because I have this unit over here, which is pretty weak, 1 armored car, some units with very low readiness, I'm just going to go ahead and throw caution to the wind. I'm going to attack. So let's do it. And it was a very good decision. So they lost 2 of their armored cars, a whole bunch of their units. They're going to have to fall back across the river, I think. Where did they go? There's a real shame that tanks have such a hard time landscape. It costs an additional 40 action points for them to cross streams, which makes sense. I mean, I'm not arguing about it. I'm just saying it's really unfortunate because it looks like Trier is unguarded. And I don't even know where this unit retreated to. Okay, actually I do know. It probably retreated to Trier, but since I have very low reconnaissance on it, those units are actually hidden because Urban has 20 points of hide, which means that you can hide some units in there. And then I won't notice until I try to move in, and then they'll get a surprise. It'll be a surprise ambush defense on me, which means that I attack them but at a pretty severe penalty. And I'd already be attacking at a pretty severe penalty just because I'm going over a stream, which armor is just no good at whatsoever. Minus 40% to my attack. And then it'd be an additional minus 50% because I'm moving into an urban. Excuse me. So that's really, really ill-advised. Okay, that's fine. We'll have to see what these guys do. If they're smart, they'll move back to cut me off. In fact, what I might do, now that I push forward, I think I will just move back over here. My ultimate goal is I want to take this hex right here, which will really cut these guys off from supply. Now taking this one is already a benefit. What it means is the supply for these guys, if I do F5 here, so the supply map, this one, we can see that they used to go here, which was only, well, it was like 35, I think, I don't remember. And then they were able to go here, already having crossed the stream. But now we can see that these guys are in yellow. They were in green before. I think, actually, they might have been, I think they might have been yellow, actually, already. But I don't remember. Okay, so it's 40 to move in here versus, no, here, 25. This is fields and this is fields. So it would have been 25. Okay, so it is a difference of 15. So they would already have been out of supply. Okay, so I didn't do much. The main thing will come is if I can conquer this hex, the supply will have to be traced through the high mountains, which is extremely hard for supply. These guys will either be blue, but they might even be red. For the time being, I'm just going to have to be satisfied with them being in yellow supply. And I don't know that their headquarters is here even. Their headquarters might be further away, in which case these guys are even more out of supply. Okay, that's really enough time talking about the south. We already made our actions. Let's keep pushing forward. None of these guys can move anywhere but in here, and I don't need them to do that. So I'm just going to leave all of them where they are. Alright. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to do a little bit of peeling on the top right here. And then I'm going to move in. So I know that this guy, I want him to move forward. And I don't want to move here, even though I own that, because the hill, it could be useful on defense, but I'll be crossing a stream to attack. And since I'll be going on to the attack, presumably, I'm going to avoid that penalty. We have one more dive bomb left, which I think is going to be used here. Yeah. Alright, the artillery for this situation. This artillery is only going to cost 25 to move in here? Yeah. So I'm going to move him here. He's going to bombard this guy. Now, right now, the penalty for moving here is 35 because zone of control of this guy is exerted on here. But if I can conquer this hex, which I plan to do by bombing it with artillery and then attacking, the zone of control for this hex will be gone from the enemy. And then this guy will be able to move in at only 25, and then he'll be able to bombard here. And that is the point. That's what we're going for. We can see that it would be very easy for me to attack in here. So maybe actually what I should do is attack here first, and then attack here from 4 sides. And I can also, ooh, well, yeah, I guess I can attack in here because red is going to want to attack. I could, let's see, I'll have red attack and move south, and I'll have blue attack and move north. Fine. In which case I want maybe both reds to attack. Well, this is an armored car, so I definitely want the blue to attack since it's the armor. So let's go ahead and attack with blue and attack with red up here. Okay, let's do it. Good, we wiped him out. We took a few casualties, which I'm fine with considering we took out an armored car. So that moves this guy in for 0, and he'll be attacking north. That moves this guy in. Oh my god, he doesn't have enough action points? Oh, bummer. Well, that just means that I can attack the north with this guy if I choose to, but I might not have any reason to do that anymore because supposedly I'll be attacking this guy, and I don't know if I will even attack the 82. I wish I had seen that before. Alright, well anyway, let's just push on with this attack in the... Well, let's just peel from the top then. I need to figure out what's going to go on with these hexes. And I know what my bombardment for the top is going to be. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one is going to get both artillery and dive bomb. We'll have to watch our fuel situation, but I assume it'll be okay. Good. And the follow-up attack. Let's use our weaker one. It's only by 1 point anyway. I mean, obviously I'm dive bombing a bunch of infantry, but as you can see, it's still really darn effective. 20 killed. Alright, well I'll take that. And that's weak. Definitely going to be attacking them with my armor. That's fine. This one's more important because I do want to attack this one, and it will be with a crossing the river penalty, or crossing a stream. So I'll be using infantry since crossing a stream is not as important when you're infantry. The tanks would just suffer huge, huge penalties. And the unit to the right in the corner, the northeasternmost unit of theirs, is so weak, I'm not going to bother attacking it. Good, so we have killed 19 rifles and 3 armored cars. That's extremely good. The combat value of this one's down to 1 now. That's insane. Excuse me, sorry guys. So this is the one I'm talking about. I'm going to avoid attacking this one with any artillery or dive bombs. So I have 4 artillery and 4 dive bombers in the north, and it's just perfect if I get these 4, which are the weakest ones. Yeah, which means I won't be attacking here, so I'll use this armor to attack into the south then. That's perfect. Okay, so, but let's just keep peeling over here. I know what I want to do. Let's keep doing it. More artillery, more dive bombing. Yeah, I think we talked a little bit too long about stuff going on in the south, but those were the hardest decisions to make. what to do, where to move. Like this armor, still not sure that was the right excuse me, jeez. Still not sure that was the right decision. Alright, last one. And this guy should really just crumble. In fact, since he, well, if I move this guy forward, it will be 30. But he'll be in range to bomb this guy next turn, which seems more important. I think we're going to get everything we need out of this artillery from here. So let's do the bombardment from here. Just prepare him for the next turn. Yeah, this already lowered their readiness a whole bunch, their entrenchment a whole bunch. And now let's follow up both of these guys with some dive bomb. We're still good on oil. This will probably take us down to about 1,200 left over for our tanks, which should be more than enough. And that's good. That means that because we captured the oil in the far south last turn, wow, very good. Wow. So their remaining combat value is just almost 0. And this is the effectiveness of the bombardment. Wow, another huge, huge effect from the dive bombers. I'm very glad we chose to move the artillery forward. So the capturing this oil was really important in the end, since this is by itself providing an additional 1,000. Now, if we didn't have that extra 1,000, we'd be sitting at 300 right now, which is, I mean, probably not enough for our armor to do all the things I want it to do. Okay, so good. We're peeling back everywhere on the front. Even I was like, whoa, we can make it to Nagano? But I'm pretty sure that they're going to have some units in Nagano. Just because I don't see them now doesn't mean they're there, because hide points, and we're so far away we have only 11 reconnaissance, so it wouldn't even... I don't even know if we'd see them if they were in an open plains hex, but since they have the hide points, we definitely can't see anything. So it's pretty simple what I want to do. I want to attack with infantry across this stream. In fact, it seems almost unnecessary to attack with... I feel like okay, so I need to move one of these infantry across the river, so I am still going to attack with... it's really hard to say, because these guys are so weak. They do have an armored car, though, so I need some amount of submachine guns. Okay, let's attack with this guy, then. I'm just going to attack with this guy. It's weird, but I think I'll move this guy over to attack these guys. Oh, no, I have enough here. I'll move those in. Okay. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to attack this unit with this infantry and this guard unit, which is way overkill, but it's fine. I don't mind doing it. I'm not going to move the submachine guns forward. Actually, instead of these guys, I think I'll attack with these guys. And that will, it's way overkill, but I want more submachine guns rather than infantry, just because I want to make sure that armored car doesn't do anything to me. Although 0 readiness, I assume that it won't do anything anyway. Let's see what happens. Hopefully no casualties, just a few retreated. Perfect. Great. And although the submachine guns, they do suffer that penalty. I'm sure I've showed it before, but let me just show it again. They have the minus 25% in plains and fields. Basically anywhere that's not forest and urban, they have a penalty. So low mountains, all those things. Just anywhere where it's not confined, the submachine guns lose their, because they're not ranged units. Now I'm going to move this submachine gun in, and I'm going to move this infantry in as well. Do they have enough to attack? They don't, but these guys probably do. And oddly enough, I think it's worth it for me to do a follow-up attack because their readiness is so low. It's probably worth it, although, well, here's food for thought. I could move this infantry north, this infantry south, attack from all 3 sides, kill. This armor, since it didn't move, would have enough to push on. In fact, I could probably do an attack here and then an attack here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So what we're going to do is this guy, since he's not going to be able to attack twice if I do this, we'll move here. Now we're going to attack with that unit, the armor, since, I mean, why not, basically. This unit as well. And I don't see any reason to attack with this unit because it'll just put us more over the attack stack, and I think we're just overwhelming them by a crazy amount already. So let's just do that attack. Did I grab that? Yeah, I did. So we didn't lose any, and they lost all their units. They'll push back. I'm not even going to look at the details. And the more important thing is, this is awesome. So this guy can't move. This guy can move and do an attack. And this guy, he could move in, but there's no point. Let's leave him here so he can pin from this side. Now I have 2 units, I think. Yeah, 1 infantry. This guy can't do an attack. And 1 armor, which still have enough action points for an attack. Obviously, since this guy doesn't have... Oh, he does have 1 armored car. Does that mean that... Yes, in fact, I think I'm going to reverse these. I'm going to do my infantry attack over here and my armor attack here, because the 1 armored car has 8 readiness, but this one only has... Although it's still technically more combat points, its combat points is just 0, so I'm assuming that my submachine gun and infantry will be able to punt them out. I might as well keep advancing this line. I want to attack this unit with both my armor. In fact, I might actually not do that. This guy could even attack that guy. Now, Marsh does not give you any penalty to attack if you're infantry. I just don't like these guys here. I might retreat them. Okay. I think I will. I think I'm just going to move over and attack. Like, just get the heck out of here. What are you doing? But I'm definitely not going to move in. I don't even think I will have enough points to move in, because attacking a marsh is... Yeah, I don't have enough points to do anything. But I'm not going to move there either. Although we would be in supply. We would. Just barely. 82. Can't move any further. There's just no point. I don't see any point in moving further, though, because anything beyond that will put us into a penalty. And I don't even really want those guys over there. They're just there to defend this like flanking maneuver. Okay, now these 2 will attack here. That will take all the action points this guy has left. There's even an argument to be made by... No, there's enough riflemen. I'm just going to play it safe and attack from both. So let's just do all, which gets us both the armor and attack. Took a few casualties, but wow. 42 dead. Things are really starting to crumble. Which is why I think maybe we'll just have the Japanese attack us next turn. But this is good. We're pushing forward, and I'm going to attack this one. Double attack, which is the infantry one. These guys have enough? No. Which one is it? This one. Okay, I had to look at the action points. This one has 10, 50. So spacebar him, and attack. I'm just hoping not to lose too many submachine guns, because those guys are harder to replace, ironically. But we didn't, so that's perfect. Now move this guy in, and where's that infantry? Yeah, move him in as well. We do have to start defending against these huge heaps of forces. Now, can he move? No, he can't. I was hoping it would only be... I bet it's 40. It's 50. Huh, I wonder why it's 50. In my opinion, it should only be 40, because there's no longer an enemy unit here. Oh, because they're still exerting zone of control. No, but... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. They're exerting zone of control, and it was enemy unit, or enemy territory at the beginning, so I still... It's almost like I need as much to attack as just to move in. So... Well, that's a little unfortunate, but we'll live with it. Now, to continue peeling them back, I'm going to attack here. Actually, this guard unit as well, I think I'll move him over here, because although he's a guard unit and it's not necessary, I'd say, for him... Do they suffer a penalty in swamp? No, they don't. So that's actually good. So there's no reason to keep him here, because we've already secured... We've used this town as a defensive point, and there's no longer a point to keep him here. So he'll be strong enough to counter anything that comes through, especially because he doesn't take a penalty attacking into a marsh. So we'll leave him right there. And that gave us enough scouting, actually, to see what the units are over here. Cool. But this infantry will be moving back towards the front, basically. In fact, if I had known I could have done that, I probably should have just attacked with this guard unit. But that's fine. Now, what else? We're going to leave this guard in the city, because city defense is still important. And if we can take this thing back, which I think we will on this turn, we'll actually move this headquarters forward here, because then he'll be closer to the front and better HQ proximity. You can see this guy's down to 60%. If we move him just this one, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll be only at 80%. Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. How does this work? If he was here, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Yeah, it'd be 80%. Okay. I'm moving a little slow on this turn. Don't know why. I'm having so much fun though, and this attack is just awesome. We're blowing them apart. So I can't attack with this guy, but let's attack with this guy. And I think that's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I want to attack somebody, a unit from here with one of these guys. So I want to probably move the tank in. We're running out of oil very quickly. But I should have enough to do... No, I'm not sure I have enough to do what I want. So let's attack him with the infantry here. And then he should have enough to attack back south. Oh man, there's so many... I want to attack this guy as well. Oh my gosh. I might do that instead. Okay, well let's do the attack with... let me go none and reselect these guys. So this guy... Oh, whoops. Attack with this guy, and this infantry. Yes. Attack. And they're just being blown out of the water, which is what artillery bombardment and dive bombing follow-up really does to them. So that's good. These guys are stuck here. That's fine. Now I think we have one unit here which can move in for free. Yeah, cost 0. And nobody else in this hex, 0 action points, 20 action points, and 50. Nobody else can attack these guys, but then since they're so weak, I'm going to follow up. In fact, I might even... it's really hard to say. I think this is a good attack. Let's do it. Okay, attack. I'm just seeking to cause as many casualties as I can, since they're so weak right now. The question is it worth moving in? It's actually a good question. I mean, they're 39 and 19. That's a pretty strong force. Yes, I think, why not? Let's move in. Oh my gosh. Well, they have a lot of infantry guns, don't they? Nagano was certainly in no shape to be attacked this turn. Good gracious. Oh my gosh. That's a ton of... That's 30 infantry guns. Oh my goodness. Well, fine. That's fine. So not enough action points for anybody down here to do anything. But the armor can no longer do anything. Damn it. So they ran out of fuel. Which means, though, we're still okay. We can attack these units with these two. And then we'll only move in with this guy. That's fine. I think that should be still more than enough. Should we get this guy involved? There's no reason for him to be in this town anymore, so we might as well just get him involved. Sure, why not? Hopefully the submachine guns don't take too much damage. They didn't. Oh, 1. Okay, I'm fine with 1. It's fine. The end result is they all died, and they got pushed back. So yes, we will move our guards in, and our infantry. And our armor, we are out of fuel, but we can still creep towards the front. So we're going to do that. Which, the only reason why I care about doing this is just so we're ready to attack next turn. These guys are out of action points. They used all our fuel. That's fine. So now this guy who could earlier have attacked with 60 action points, he no longer able to, and this guy can't also. But we have enough infantry that we can do this 3-sided attack, which I'm presuming after bombardment will be more than enough. And I see that this is already going 30 minutes. That's incredible, just on one turn. It's probably better that we aren't fighting against China. Those turns would take like a half an hour plus if I moved really quickly. Alright, let's speed things along a little bit. Attack, attack, and attack. Should be pretty good, yeah. It's good. Let's stop looking at everything. And I think I was going to do a follow-up attack. I am. Oh, but now the armor can't. And these guys can't move there. Can this guy move? Oh, he can. So we will still do a follow-up attack because we can. We can move this guy here, and that will cost him 25, and he can still bombard here. I think I was going to have him bombard somewhere else, but since we're not going to have as much attacking in the south as I originally wanted, let's go ahead and bombard the unit we're going to attack. Makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? And now they're too weak to really care about defending, right? So we just move in. Lost one unit. I'm fine with that. Okay, let's move in. And can this guy move in now? He still cannot. Can this guy move anywhere? Yes. So we're This guy can... He at least can move towards the front. I guess we might as well, huh? This guy can't move anywhere. Okay. Well, that concludes this turn then. Oh, we still have one... Well, he can't dive bomb anything. There's no oil. That's fine. Good. So that'll conclude this turn. I guess very briefly. I mean, if you've stayed watching this series this long, you probably won't care that one episode goes over 30 minutes, I hope. So let's see what the Germans do to counter. I'm pretty excited. It'll be very interesting, and I'd like to end the episode only after I watch so that I have time to kind of do stuff off camera. Now, I probably should be advancing these forces forward. Okay, I at least need to advance some trucks forward, so let's do that. These trucks. Also, I've been neglecting to use the selection. If I select a hex, I can just grab units by clicking here, which is going to be faster if there's more than 4 in a hex. Okay, so I want to move some trucks to keep their... And actually, oh, I don't have enough fuel. So I can't use my land cap to do anything except for move... I can only move trucks forward. I can't use any of the trucks in the front because that all requires fuel. Blast. That's not good. Well, let's move... I guess 3 trucks in the south will put us up to 7 down over there. And this guy's the only one left over there, so let's move him... Let's give him 2 more as well. So 7 trucks and 7 trucks. And I'm going to keep supplying these guys as well with more trucks. This guy has 5. Let's give him 6. This guy has 5. Let's give him 6. That's good. Now, with the rail, since we aren't able to actually move units forward this turn, I think what I'll try to do is... I have a lot of rail capacity. I think I'll move a standard light tank forward for each of them as well. And... I need to be doing as much by rail as possible. So let's see if we can supply any units that were injured. Okay, so this guy lost a machine gun. Let's give him a machine gun. That guy's fine. This guy lost 3 rifles. Let's give him 3 rifles. That guy doesn't matter. Okay, that's all fine. This guy didn't lose anything. This guy's off the rail. Yeah, I think that's all we can do. So maybe just move some more units in. 30 rifles here and 19 machine gun. They could probably use some more. Let's do 30 and 10. And what do you need? Let's give you 20 and 10. And let's also give you 10 submachine guns. That's good. Alright, let's end the turn here. Let's just really charge forward, because I know this episode's going way too long, but that's okay. Let's see what the Germans do in reaction to our huge, huge push in the north. They attacked and they won. Oh my gosh, they attacked again. We held on that second attack, but our combat value is greatly diminished. That submachine gun unit is probably just going to be replaced with a rifleman unit. Oh, okay, they did successfully attack. Oh, and they pushed in. Oh, this is interesting. So they did lose more than they killed, and they lost 4 armor. Yeah, that's pretty... That's serious. So let's briefly kind of see what they did. Let's go to the history. Okay, so their first attack in was successful. A land attack where it doesn't say what happened, but we were pushed back, I guess. Like, why? What is going on here? It doesn't show our unit there. Some kind of bug. Okay, fine. So that happened, and they pushed us back. Fine. So we lost 3 machine guns and 9 rifles, and they lost a ton of rifles because, yeah, machine guns. Hello. And this is where they lost their 4 armored cars as well, because our submachine guns attacking at plus 25%. That applies to the armor as well. And armor has a penalty fighting in the forest anyway. Okay, let's go to the next battle. Then they attacked again, and this follow-up attack was, although we stood firm, pretty good, I guess, because it was even losses. In fact, we took more losses than they did. But I'm glad we held firm because that's a raw, and not that a raw is a big problem, but it's a low mountain position, and we really want to hold that. So I think what will happen after this is the submachine guns will pull back here to hold this instead. I'll have to reinforce them, and then this rifle, these 2 rifles will just have to hold the mountain. In fact, the submachine gun is going to have to pull back here. This is really not a good situation. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's go to the next battle. The attacker was victorious, and in a very good way for them. I don't know why my infantry, which is usually really strong, didn't hold there, but we got unlucky, and that's all of their turn. Okay. Well, just quickly, let's think about, probably this guy will move back here. I'll have to transfer, since his readiness is so low now, well, it's not that terribly low, but I think what we'll do is transfer some rifles to him or something when he moves into here. Right? I think rifles is going to be the most important thing, because this is mainly armored cars and we need infantry, non-machine gun infantry to take care of armor. This guy's going to move in here, and I don't know what to do about this group right here. They're obviously out of supply because their readiness is not going up. When you're out of supply totally, your readiness eventually falls down to 10, which is where this submachine gun's at. And it shouldn't be at 10 if they just recovered for a whole turn. No combat has occurred. So this guy's definitely out of supply, which means that he won't really be able to do much with these action points, including not attacking. So I might even risk some of my staff members who are terrible at combat by moving forward. We'll think about it off camera though. Now, what else do we have? So it looks like they're going to try to push across over here. What I'll do, right, it's just obvious what I want to do here. I want to move this infantry here. That forces them either to attack over a stream or to move through the marsh, either which is a terrible decision for them. This infantry will move south. We can keep carving away at the hexes which are surrounded by 3 and keep doing that. Nagano looks like it's going to require some heavy bombardment to be attackable. This guy's going to die. We can probably do a cutoff here and then a surroundment on this guy. And we'll just keep bombing these guys. Well, this turn has gone, this episode has gone a little bit over time, so I'm going to call it here finally. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.